3 days. That's all that's left before the Bloodstrike devs finally pull back the curtain and showcase something that could potentially change the entire flow of the game. A brand new Battle Royale map called Skyline Beach. And if you've been following my channel closely, you already know that I've made a detailed video in the past talking about how this new map might actually share the same universe that Netease once crafted in Knives Out. That theory alone got a lot of attention from both longtime fans and new players. But today, I'm here to go even deeper. I want to share more details that I've gathered about Skyline Beach. And while some of you might already be familiar with bits and pieces of this information, I'm sure there's still a lot that will surprise you. If not, well, stick around anyway, because I promise by the end of this video, you'll have a much clearer picture of what's coming and why it's worth getting excited about. Let's talk about the environment first. Skyline Beach is not just another map slapped together to expand the rotation. From what I've seen and heard, it's a deliberate mix of high-tech urban areas combined with untouched natural landscapes. Imagine the bustling energy of futuristic high-rise cities seamlessly blending into serene open terrains with small mountains, winding roads, and pockets of greenery. It's almost like the devs wanted to create a world that feels alive, diverse, and unpredictable. You could be fighting your way through neon-lit skyscrapers one moment, and the next, you're taking cover behind rugged cliffsides or using a small mountain ridge to outmaneuver your enemies. That dynamic shift between urban and natural combat is going to keep players constantly adapting. And for me, that's a sign of great map design. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The innovation they're bringing in with the lift control system. Yes, you heard that right. Some of these towering high-rises are going to come equipped with fully automatic lifts, and that alone changes how vertical gameplay is going to work in Bloodstrike. We've all had those moments in Battle Royale games where you're forced to take the stairs or hunt down a slow, awkward ladder just to get a good vantage point. Here, it's instant. Step into the lift, hit the button, and you're riding smoothly to the top in seconds. But, and this is important, it's never going to be completely safe, because those same buildings will also have long zip lines attached. And if you're up top thinking you're untouchable, someone could easily zip right onto your rooftop and catch you completely off guard. That means awareness is going to be more crucial than ever. You can't just assume you're safe because you have the high ground. In Skyline Beach, the high ground comes with high risk. Now, speaking of zip lines, there's another mechanic I'm really excited for, the horizontal zipline system. Picture this. You're stuck in a fight at the top of one of these massive buildings. Enemies have you pinned, you're running low on ammo, and there's no easy way down without getting shredded. Normally, you'd be forced to either jump off and take damage, or try to hold your ground until someone inevitably rushes you. But with the horizontal ziplines, you can change the game in an instant. One quick zip, and you're sliding across to a different building, maybe even taking your entire squad with you, instantly flipping the situation in your favor. It's not just a way to escape, it's a way to reposition, flank, and even surprise the very enemies who thought they had you cornered. I think this mechanic is going to lead to some insanely creative plays, and I'm already imagining the highlight clips people will be pulling off once this goes live. Now, I know I've already talked about vehicles in my previous video, so I'm not going to repeat all of that here. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, because I break down exactly what kinds of vehicles we can expect and how they'll fit into the flow of the map. But trust me, once you combine those vehicles with the size and layout of Skyline Beach, it's going to open up some crazy possibilities for mobility and tactical plays. Speaking of size, let's talk numbers. The old favorite, Deserted Valley, comes in at around 1.9 kilometers. Skyline Beach, it's clocking in at a massive 2.2 kilometers. That extra space might not sound like much on paper, but in the world of Battle Royale, it's huge. More space means more loot spots, more angles for intense sniping duels, more bridges and choke points for setting up ambushes, and just generally more room for creative strategies. You won't be funneled into the same predictable firefights as often, and that variety keeps things fresh. But with that size increase comes something even more shocking: the player count. Skyline Beach is going to support 150 players. Let that sink in for a moment. 150 players, all dropped into a massive map with high-rises, mountains, vehicles, ziplines, and lifts. That's not just a match. That's chaos on a scale that could rival the biggest battle royales out there. And honestly, this is where my mind immediately went to Warzone Mobile. Bloodstrike's official launch date? March 21st, 2024. The exact same day that Warzone Mobile officially launched. It's hard not to see that as a direct challenge. And when you consider how poorly optimized Warzone Mobile was at launch, honestly, it was a nightmare for most players. It really feels like the Bloodstrike devs saw an opening and went straight for it. While Activision was fumbling the ball, struggling to deliver on their promises, Bloodstrike was right there to pick it up and run with it. And they didn't just quietly release their game. They made a statement. Remember the Payday event? The nuke? Both of those were direct nods to Warzone's famous plunder mode, but with their own twist. They promised us a battlefield with 120 real players. And while Warzone Mobile failed to make that dream feel smooth and playable, Bloodstrike managed to create something that genuinely felt like it could be the ultimate mobile BR experience. Now they're pushing it even further with Skyline Beach, aiming for 150 players. And if you think they're not capable of handling that kind of player count, just remember, these are the same devs who made Knives Out, a game that has had modes with up to 200 players in a single match. For them, this isn't uncharted territory. They know what they're doing. But of course, there's always a catch. The biggest challenge for the devs is going to be optimization. And to be fair, they've already addressed this in a pretty smart way. They've confirmed that not every building in Skyline Beach will have fully accessible multi-floor interiors. And while that might disappoint some players who love exploring every single room, it's actually a necessary compromise. Multi-floor access for dozens of high-rise buildings would put an enormous strain on mobile GPUs, especially since a large portion of the player base is on budget devices. By limiting the number of fully explorable buildings, they're ensuring the game runs more smoothly for everyone. And to balance it out, they've added the lift systems and long zip lines to keep vertical gameplay fun and dynamic, without overloading the hardware. It's a delicate balance, keeping the map immersive and full of options, without making it unplayable for a big chunk of the audience. And honestly, I respect that decision. I'd much rather have a smooth, stable experience with clever gameplay mechanics than a laggy mess where my frame rate tanks every time I step into a city block. So here's where I stand. Skyline Beach has all the ingredients to be one of the most exciting updates Bloodstrike has ever seen. A massive, varied map, innovative movement systems, a huge player count, smart design choices for optimization, and the confidence to go head-to-head with the biggest names in the genre. This isn't just about adding another map, it's about making a statement that Bloodstrike isn't afraid to innovate, adapt, and take risks, even in a crowded battle royale market. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the upcoming Skyline Beach update? Are you excited for the lifts and ziplines? Do you think the larger player count will make matches more thrilling or just more chaotic? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious to see how the community feels about all this. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your squad so they're up to speed, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. I've got plenty more content coming your way, and I'll be covering everything you need to know once Skyline Beach finally drops. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.